me coming out, and I just have to live, and I wanna give. I'm completely positive. I think this time around I am gonna do it like you never knew it. Oh, I'll make it through. The time has come for me to break out of the shell. I have to shout that I am coming out.
Welcome to the show Never Too Late Ever, where we focus on making the next chapter of your life the very best chapter ever. I am your host, Lorraine Hoving from It's About Time, and I am thrilled that you are joining us today. This day will change your life. Open your heart, your ears, and listen. You will find a gem if you look, a treasure that you can apply to your life today. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to Janet. Hi, Janet. How are you?
Hello, Lorraine. I'm fabulous and so excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to have you because I have noticed Janet for a while, and she has super duper positive energy. And as you all know, I tend to be very positive. I always look at the glass half full. And I noticed that about Janet, and I was immediately attracted to her. So I thought, she's going to be a fun one to have on the show. So welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Same with you. I watch your Tuesday morning motivation, and I just love it.
Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Janet. She is a rock star, an influencer with an incredible passion and energy for creating massive ripple effect of positive energy, like I just said, and awesomeness throughout the world. For over 14 years, she has developed and operated children's summer programs, which I think sounds great, creating incredible experiences for thousands of kids and their families. She recently created INPact Academy, which includes the DRIP program and includes life skills training. She is an inspirational speaker and speaks with many audiences, both live and virtually, on the power each of us has to be a drip that rips, listen to this, and not a drop that plops. Many of us have been there. What excites her most are the stories she hears and shares in her interviews with people throughout the world on the positive impact they are making through kindness, compassion, and connection. She lives in Long Island, New York, with her husband and has 3 wonderful grandchildren. They're all wonderful. Janet believes we have all been placed here on purpose, and we deserve to live life full out, healthy, vibrant, and forever to be lifelong learners committed to making an impact on the lives of others. Well, welcome. That sounds right up my alley of never too late ever.
It's never too late.
And
that's
there?
The beauty of it. Yes.
Great. Well, tell us a little bit about, now you're from New York. Tell us a little bit about your family, and then we'll go from there into your first topic, which is called the drip that rips, how the power of a single, I love this, drip can make a global difference and an impact. So tell us a little bit about Janet.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you again so much. Well, as you mentioned, I live in Long Island, New York, and I'm born and raised here in the area. I'm here in Long Island with my husband and 2 children from our marriage, and I have 3 adult stepchildren, which is why I'm known as Gra, and I have 3 grandchildren. So our son and daughter, my son is 21 and my daughter is 18, so they're in that prime age, which is just so exciting. And so I get to still run around with the little ones. The exciting part about my family, too, is that we have very successfully blended 2 families. And I know in this day and age, that's something to really cherish and celebrate, because often there are some challenges that many others face around that. So I'm quite humbled and honored to say that we've been very successful in making that happen.
So you have two children, your husband and you have 2 children together, and then 3 biological. Is that what you said? I mean, and then 3
two biological and three step children. Yes. And
yeah,
I've been married now for 22 years.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And you all sound like you all get along great.
We really do. We are one big extended family. Not to say that there's sometimes when I just don't want to throw some of them out the window. But
right.
for the most part, yeah.
Well, yeah. Sometimes we even want to throw our husband out the old window, but that's another story. But you know what? It's not that life is ever perfect. It's that we keep getting better and better every day. So now tell me, Janet, because I've always been attracted to your positive energy. How do you have so much positive energy? Were you born like that? I was a happy child. Were you born like that, or did you go through some hard stuff to get there? Tell us a little bit about that.
I honestly have to say that I think I came out of the womb like, hey, world, and for the most part, and the joke behind it is that I do have a B positive blood type. So I like to let people know that I'm just, that is inside me already. However, I've always, and I can't even remember a time when I wasn't, that I never looked at a situation as truly negative. I always found that sparkle or that sunlight in it. And I'm not Mary Poppins 24/7. I need people to understand that fully, because Jen Mackay can sometimes get pretty ugly when things kind of do get frustrated. But I just truly look for the possible. Everything is possible, and when we focus on that, we can figure out everything. Like I've always heard, everything is figure outable. So it's just how you show up. And I choose. It is a choice. I choose to show up in gratitude and with a smile on my face.
Exactly. Now, what did you say about your blood type?
It's B positive.
Which is rare, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. So the interesting thing is, I'm B positive. And
no way.
No way. I mean, yes way. I'm B positive, and there's different things about me, like my magnetic. I can't wear watches. Every time I wear a watch, it goes faster and faster and faster. So then I tried the next necklace watches for a few years, and they go faster and faster. So I think I'm a rare bird because I have B positive, and so that's interesting that we both have that.
That is, so our energies, because they are so strong, totally connected us. And that is the beauty of the technology that we have at our fingertips nowadays, to link arms with the most incredible, like-minded, high-vibing individuals out there. And it's just such a blessing.
That's great. What do you do? Okay, so we're positive in general. So what do you do when life does throw you a curveball? How do you handle that?
I take it for what it is, because I understand that it's going to happen, because it's called life. And we have to adjust the sails when the wind is blowing us in a different direction. And a mentor of mine who I love dearly and study with has said, Mr. Les Brown, if you can make sure that when you do get knocked down, you land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And I live by that fully as well. And when he said that, I said, he must be a brother from another mother. That's all I have to say, because we just, vibed in that way. So I set my day up purposefully so that I get out of bed with a positive footstep. And I do that with gratitude. And everybody that I talk to getting yourself set up with a positive mindset is really the juice that you need to get through any situation. But I do soul searching. I get into, I try not to sit in it too long. I say, okay, here's a lesson to be learned, or a shift that needs to be made. How are we going to do it?
Right. Sometimes I allow myself like a certain amount of time to be disappointed with whatever's I'm facing. And then I tell myself, Lorraine, get over it and find out what this is trying to teach you. And I love that Les Brown one, when you're on your back, look up. So that
you
is,
know,
that is,
it's also allowing yourself the pity party, and it's allowing yourself grace, because sometimes the obstacles that come in your path are ones that you actually have put there yourself. So I think that's just something that's important too. Like, a pity party is going to happen. Not every day is true bliss, but there is always something to be grateful for. And what I tell the kids that I work with and the people that I work with is that you can flip a crappy moment to a happy moment with one word, and that is gratitude. Because there is always, 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 no matter how horrible and scary and bad, and we're all going through a period of that right now throughout the world with everything that's happening around us, is that there is always something to be grateful for. As small or as large as it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, even in COVID, I was leading a ladies' meeting the other day, and I said, find the positive. What is one positive you've learned? Because I've learned a couple positives during COVID, but we tend to look at the negative in circumstances, and if we can switch around and find positive, it is there. And there's nothing wrong with being sad or grieving for a period of time, because that's part of being honest with ourselves. But then we can turn our ship and, like you say, Janet, go from crappy to happy. I like that.
And you know what is a really cool thing, and I'm so excited that you mentioned this, Lorraine, is that in COVID specifically, what many people, like you said, did do is they looked at everything that was taken away, everything that they couldn't do. And I know there has been hardships. There are people that have lost their lives. There are people that have lost their jobs. There's suicide rates that are going up, and so on and so on and so on. And what I had people do, and I did it myself, is that we wrote a letter to COVID, 19 things for COVID-19 that you got out of the pandemic. The time you shared with your family, the 19 good things or positive things that did come out of it with all of the other stuff. So I just found that to be such a great exercise, and it really kind of brought the family together. So if anybody would like to do that, I highly recommend.
Yes, that's a great exercise. And like Janet says, we grieve with the people that have lost loved ones. That is just so devastating. But there is always a way to look at every circumstance in our life. If we find it, if we look hard enough, we will find places where we can be totally grateful. So get out your piece of paper and write your COVID-19. I like that. So what was the moment you realized your purpose? Because you seem purposeful and intentional. When did you find that purpose in your life?
Thank you for asking that. And I believe that for so many people, they spend their lifetime really figuring out what their purpose and intent is. And I always say, and I've heard, I think it was T.D. Jakes that might have mentioned it, that said there are the two most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day that you identify why you're here. And for me, there was a specific moment that happened, and it happened in 2014 during my summer program, where we had this ginormous spaghetti swim where we swam in 400 pounds of spaghetti, and it was an incredible event. And most people would be like, oh my gosh, that's the most disgusting thing. Well, it was glorious. But what happened is that particular week, Robin Williams had passed, an amazing gentleman, actor, comedian who took his own life. And we dedicated our spaghetti swim that week to the work that he did in a movie called Patch Adams, where he played the role of a doctor who treated the person, not just the disease. And this one woman's desire at 84 years old was to swim in a giant pool of spaghetti, and he made that happen. So ironically, after having celebrated Pasta Week the entire week with hundreds of kids, our finale was to swim in all of this spaghetti, and it was just amazing. But what happened from that is that we realized that there was an energy that was created at that moment, and then we found out that we have a platform. And everybody has a platform, whatever it is, however big, however small it might be, to do great things for great people. And at that moment, said to myself, we have something special. And with this platform, we have got to do something to pay it forward for people and continue to do great things for great people, and linked arms with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and other organizations. And what I found in that moment is that children and their families, when given opportunities to serve others and do good